Well then, it's been a couple of months, a lot of stuff going on, and you still don't remember that we do this in English. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Power Up Show, the one place where you can come and talk about the new year and everything that's come about within the video game industry and other mediums of entertainment. And tonight we have, of course, the one and only, the sensational, the wonderful, the pretty boy, Richard from LA.
I don't know if pretty, but I'll take it. Sorry, it's just that guys, every time, for those who are listening, every time right before the show, Mel and I are, we're just shooting the breeze, and we're always talking in Spanish. So I always forget that we do this in English because we start this thing. Not that we talk a lot before we start it, but we do, catch up and whatnot for a little bit. And it's always in Spanish. So it always throws me off. And
It
so
happens. It
never mind.
happens.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's been a while. Sorry. It's been mostly my fault. I mean, Mel was traveling for a little bit, but it's
Both
been
faults.
mostly my fault because I've been in and out the most, I would say, out of the two. And it got a little bit difficult this past month with the holidays and all the good stuff happening.
Yeah, well,
A
you
lot
know,
of
the
travel time.
holidays is when a lot of people take a break and we do a lot of stuff, right? So, I know I've been doing a lot of stuff. So, how about you? What have you been doing in this past couple of months? How's life?
I mean, other than traveling, are we talking about video games?
Everything, we're just talking about here, everyone just chilling out. And
Well,
if anyone
what
listens to
I've been
this, they'll want to know,
yeah.
hey, what the hell happened? Why did you guys didn't come in?
Well, we were, I mean, and we were just arguing about this. I mean, not arguing, but discussing it. When was the last time we did a podcast? I'm pretty sure it was late November.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe early December because I had just finished Mass Effect 2 and I was gonna start Mass Effect 3, but I deviated and play something else, which actually I can't remember what it is, but I'm gonna pull my phone right now and let me look at my Steam account,
That's a good idea. Just checking out.
right?
Just to make I will know what we've been doing as of late, and it's been a
Yeah,
lot.
it's been a while. And I know I finished at least one or two games before I started Mass Effect 3 because I didn't want to get burned out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that, Mel.
Yeah, yeah, I remember they said, I finished Mass Effect 2. Let's give it a let's give it a halt for a moment, and then let's try some other things before jumping into the fray. And then you jumped into Mass Effect
Yes,
3, and I did not know more about it.
I think I'm looking at my library. There's an easier way in Steam to see what I've been playing lately. Notification
Um,
confirmations.
I think you go to your profile and probably go to, I don't know. You can go
Yeah,
to
good question, huh?
games. You can go to games, I think, and it will show you like a sort of, yeah. It will show
Okay.
you a little list of the you can sort by recent, so that will give you a list of what you've been playing lately.
Oh, it doesn't show me too much.
Uh-huh.
All games. But it doesn't do it by.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just go to the like this.
No, but I wanted to do it by recent. What's the most recent? And
Mm-hmm.
it's not. It only shows me four.
Oh, okay. I see a ton of them in recent. So yeah, it does give me like a historically recent. So yeah, it should give you all the information. Should being the
All
keyword.
right. Well, I remember, let me see. Yes. So Grease, I play Grease.
Mm-hmm.
Did I talk about Grease at some point? Did I ever mention that?
No,
No.
you
I
mentioned.
played Ghostbusters. No, but the Ghostbusters I talk about.
Yeah, we did talk about Ghostbusters.
Grease, I play that. It's a platformer. A little bit an exploring platformer. It's not difficult at all. It's almost like a 2D walking simulation with some
Yeah.
platforming elements and some what do you call it, puzzles to solve.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of it's more of an artsy game as opposed to a game that's gonna challenge you. It kind of reminds me of Limbo a little bit. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, sorry, not Limbo. Journey.
All
Journey
right,
from
all right.
Sony, PlayStation, and PlayStation 3, kind of like
And
that.
they're just flying through the sand.
Not, yeah, yeah, just you're going from one place to another and you're getting some interactive cinematic uh event,
Mm-hmm.
right? In a 2D platform. So it was fine. I was expecting more. Like the studio's developing a new game, which I can't remember the name, that really caught my eye, and I'm really that hoping to play it when it comes out. And I'm hoping that it blows my mind. But I was a little bit again, it's a good game. I was just a little bit underwhelmed. I was expecting more. The other game that I've been playing is so after that, I'm pretty sure I played something else, but I can't remember what it was. But I finally finished Mass Effect, the trilogy. I finished number three.
Your friend number three. Which ending?
So okay, so I wanted to okay, good that you asked that because I know they changed the ending,
Yes, it did.
but I don't know if they really changed it or they just made it fluffier. Okay. So which ending did I get? Because I don't know what the other endings are, you're gonna have to help me here. What are the possible endings? So I got the ending where Shepard jumps into the thing, the middle one, and his DNA gets transferred to the rest of the cosmos. And everybody's like half machine, half humans.
Oh wow, I didn't know about that. That's the thing. I mean,
Ah,
I asked which ending because I only did one, and that was pre-change, right? So I know they did the change to
so
make it
what
look a
was your
little.
ending?
Mine was a little bit similar, but instead of him turning everyone into man machines or whatever that you're saying, he saves humanity. He's done for. He's dead. Sorry for the spoilers. And at the end, there's this one scene where if I remember right, it was like a kid and then grown up, and they're looking at the stars and they're like somewhere around there,
Oh yeah.
just whatever. So that.
I think everybody gets that part.
Oh, okay, okay.
Unless you get a really bad ending, I would imagine.
Yeah, maybe.
But what happens to Shepard? Shepard dies?
I remember he dies and he saves humanity and everyone is joyful. The relays, the Mass Effect relays, they're gone, so humanity is all dispersed now in the cosmos and whatever.
Oh, that sounds
So
like a bad ending. My ending was a
it's
little bit happier.
it's not a bad ending so much as in, well, people have to start over again, right? But they start over again. They don't die in a massive way. So yeah, everyone is like
So
everyone
did you
survives except for Shepard, if I
so did
remember
you
right.
destroy the machines then?
I think so.
What
Yeah.
happened to your enemies? I guess that's my question.
If I if I remember right, you destroy them. You end with them, and all of the other NPCs, they just come out from different places and they're like, hey, oh, okay, so this is done
Yeah.
for. We're finally over, right? And
So all the machines died in your ending?
mhm,
Like even your companions? Edie?
I,
Edie
I
dies?
I think so. If I can
Okay.
remember
See,
right,
mine she survives because now everybody's like,
man
has some
machines.
kind of it's like cyberpunk. Everybody has some kind of machine in them.
Uh huh. Yeah, no, and mine machines die.
Okay. Yeah. All right, all right.
Of
I don't
course,
know if my end. So I know they changed the ending. I don't know if they added endings to it or they added scenes and by ending I don't mean the last CGI scene. I'm talking from the minute you go into the last mission and you get all the cutscenes as you're going through that last mission.
hmm
I'm guessing that's what they mean when they say they changed the ending.
probably I never tried it again after the change, to be honest. So, and I never really read it deeply into it. I didn't know they changed it in one way or another so that people wouldn't complain about the ending. To be honest, I don't remember also having an issue with the ending how it was, right? Apparently, there was a lot of people complaining. I didn't care. I finished it, and the ending was, happy, nilly willy, and that was it. So, hey, to each their own,
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, and it's hard to compare, how the ending change if there's different endings. I mean, at least there's three that I can tell, at the
Yeah,
very
there's
least.
supposed to be three. What I think happened is, don't take my word for it, but I think what they changed is how do you go about choosing an ending. But I'm not entirely sure about that. We could probably check it
I
out.
was confused when you have to make your decision.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure there's three pillars that you can go to, right? The middle one, the right one, and the
Mm-hmm.
left one. And I don't know if I got distracted or what, but once I got my like now make your choice, I was like, oh, okay, which one is which?
Here you go.
Out of the three choices, which pillar is gonna, am I gonna pick the right one
Oh, here it goes.
based on what I want?
BioWare, BioWare then released the extended versions of these three main endings to placate fans in the Mass Effect 3 Extended Cut DLC. These endings mostly added cutscenes after Shepard's decisions, showing the consequences of their actions. Though the changes were mostly supplementary, not revisionary, so I guess they just had a little bit more story.
Okay. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're totally right on that one. What else?
Well, I want to get your take a little bit since we haven't really talked in a while. What was your, and I know it's been a while, but when you played Mass Effect, which one was your favorite and why?
I'm going to say, Jesus. I'm going to say two. It was the most tight story and the most memorable characters. Three I did like quite a bit, but it didn't have that sass from the NPC characters, not in the same way as two did. So I'm gonna say two. Also, the change. I mean, talking about someone that played Mass Effect One prior the remake, right? Or
Hmm.
whatever. So the system was crappy, and then it jumped to Mass Effect 2, and that was like, holy shit, this is a whole different game,
Yeah.
right? So the change was great. The third one, well, it was a little bit more of the same, right? So I'm going to say I
Well, a
enjoyed
lot a
two.
lot more refined.
Yes, yes, it was a lot
I
more
played
refined.
immediately after, so I can feel the changes a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more. But yes, the jump from one and two, it wasn't replicated from two and three. And if anything, I think some of the mechanics, and not in a bad way,
Mm-hmm.
went backwards as to like one, the way you use grenades, for instance, and I can't remember the other ones. There's little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I thought three mechanic wise, I thought was the perfect balance. Like it got all the good stuff that two had. It refined it and even implemented some stuff from number one that made sense to kind of keep that legacy of Mass Effect
Mm-hmm.
in intact.
Yeah, I mean,
But I agree with you.
I think three
Go
just
ahead.
I think three just followed the same formula, just did the fine tuning. But at the end, the story wise, I think was tracked a little bit more against number two, which did have a lot of memorable moments and memorable characters and memorable everything. To be honest.
Well, it was about you and the crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were building your crew and gaining their trust, and then it pays off at the end if you invested in your crew. And
Yes.
because you get those crew stories, very individual crew stories, I think it's just, and there were good stories to begin with. It
Mm-hmm.
just hits you a little bit more.
Yes, that's true.
Uh, three three to me, it felt more. You know what it reminded me of? If it was more of a B studio making it,
like,
it kind of reminded me
uh,
of Starship Troopers.
or like Starship Troopers, or like
Yeah, like
yeah, yeah, the
everything is
first one.
bigger. Every battle is bigger. It's very cinematic. It has more like Uncharted like moments
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, oh, you gotta follow this thing, and there's
Or
things happening
you're
around you,
falling
and
through this cliff, and you're doing all this jumping and
yeah,
stuff like that. You know.
yeah, yeah. So that I kind of felt like it lost a little bit of what Mass Effect is, and not a lot, but just a tiny bit. And then it's trying to introduce new characters. However, at the same time, is maintaining all the characters from number two if you do all the side missions. So now you have way too many characters that you have to relate to, and I think that hurts it.
Yeah, yeah,
What
I
are you
guess
looking
you're right.
for?
I'm just putting a Mass Effect trailer just for the gills. One of those
Okay.
launch trailers or something. Legendary edition.
But I enjoyed it. I'm really happy that I was finally able to play Mass Effect.
Well, yeah,
Nothing was.
I did tell you a long time ago. You know, hey, Mass Effect is cool. You should try it. And
Yeah.
yeah, also the fact that you got
It,
Mass
it,
Effect One a little bit revamped. That was a
oh yeah.
bonus. That was a bonus because trust me, you really don't want to play Mass Effect One old school.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that was the game that I put the least amount of time just because the map, it was just not easy to follow. It's not that it was hard to follow, but it wasn't intuitive. It wasn't like, hey, if you go here, you're gonna find this mission.
Hmm.
It's more like you have to read the journal and then look through the map to find that planet, and that was just not flying with me.
Yeah.
So anyway, really happy to have played it. I am I'm tempted to play Andromeda. What do you think?
I say don't believe the buzz. Just play it. Make your own mind about it. The only one thing that you have to know and understand and acknowledge is the fact that it's not massive Shepard's Mass Effect. We're talking
Which I
about.
don't mind at all.
Hmm.
I'm kind of done with Shepard.
Yeah,
I'm happy. Like I'm done with his story. I'm good. I don't need more Shepard.
yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. You know, Shepard, it's good and done for, and you don't really need to go back to Shepard. The only way I would go back to Shepard is to see a live action or animated series or
Yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
which apparently is happening, but apparently it's not going to be Shepard, which is fine by me too, because we're talking about a full universe, right? So
Yeah, there's
why get
plenty.
stuck with one character?
Yeah. Like I don't need to see any more Skywalkers in Star Wars.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, I think Mass Effect Andromeda would be a good pick. It does have similar mechanics to three. On the third one, did you have booster packs? I don't remember, but I think not.
Have what, sorry?
Booster packs, like jump with booster
To
packs and
to
fly,
fly?
and yeah, it doesn't
No,
have
no,
anything like
no.
that. Oh, there you go. That's Andromeda. That's everything that you know
Okay.
about three plus booster packs, pretty much. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is it very cinematic? Is it more like the just how the game plays? Is it more like three or two? And I'm talking the style, cinematic, or is it more of an RPG? Is it try to be more actiony like three? Where does it fall?
Maybe a point in between two and three. So it does
Oh,
lean a little bit
okay.
into
I like that.
cinematic, but it does have a lot of main action moments, not just all cinematics and stuff. So yeah, I think you might like it. I know that you don't follow the trends of a lot of people just hating stuff because hey, it's not Shepard. Hey, this doesn't work for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, you might find something to enjoy right there. Also, like
That's cool. I'm just a little disappointed that they're actually going to continue Mass Effect with Shepard, apparently, right? Mass Effect 4, whatever
so
the name is.
it's pointed to Shepard again.
Yeah,
Oh well, I mean I'll play it.
I know.
Screw it, but
Yeah.
but I would rather not. But a lot of people, I guess they. I think you got stuck.
No,
Ah, there
I'm listening to you.
you go.
And
Yeah.
I was looking at the Mass Effect trailer.
Oh yeah. So I guess a lot of people did complain because indeed it was not Shepard, right? And that was the main complaint. And of course, it did have a lot of bugs when it came out. I tend to expect that right now, but yeah, I say go for it, try it out, check it, and
Okay.
maybe you'll find something to enjoy, even if it's not the big shebang. It's still going to be something that you might enjoy. I remember playing this Mass Effect in iPad like ages ago, and I enjoyed it just because it was Mass Effect. Yeah, it
Which
was a
one?
it,
The
it
Andromeda?
no, 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 it was a side game. I can't remember the subtitle, but it was a side
Oh, okay.
Mass Effect game, and it was fun because hey, it's Mass Effect and it's it's fun time. A lot of people complain
Yeah,
about stuff like
it's a nice world that you
this.
can
Hmm.
explore.
Yeah,
The one thing I have to say, the one thing I didn't like about three, and I told you this through text, is the humor. It
mhm.
felt like I was at some point in the game, I think it's maybe like a third or half into it. It tries to be funny for the sake of being funny.
It got marbleized.
It got marvelized exactly, and I did not enjoy that one bit. It really threw me off. It was like, okay, what just happened? It's like I'm watching a TV show and they change showrunners halfway through the season,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
it's a completely different show.
Like what happened with Justice League. Eh,
Yes,
we had
exactly. But yes,
yeah, we
yes.
had Man of Steel, then we had Batman v Superman, and all of a sudden we get Justice League, and it's like, what happened? This is like Josh Whedon directed. Oh my
What?
god, or James Gunn or
Yeah. Oh
something.
my God.
So yeah, it gets marvelized. It's a term now. It
Yeah,
exists.
it is a term. It exists, and it was in Mass Effect 3 before even it was even a term. So there you go.
There you go. So what else?
So Mass Effect 3, then I started playing. What did I play after? It had to be in my Steam Deck. So I played a little bit of Vampire Survivors.
Mm-hmm.
What what I bought? What did I buy? Okay, let me open my Steam. Let's go to my collection. Because the only thing I Steam for the most part. Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me see. Library. Before I say anything. Uh-huh. Yep, I got a MetaQuest 3.
Oh yeah, you said so, and you played the, if I'm not mistaken, Batman.
I play Batman. I'm Batman.
Batman.
It's amazing, dude.
Hey,
It
hey,
is
hey, hey,
actually
hey, come on.
MetaQuest
Do
3.
do your best Batman, boys. Come on. Three, two, one. It got
That's
caught.
horrible.
It got caught. It doesn't matter. It got caught.
I am Batman.
Ah. Here goes mine. Ready?
Okay.
I'm Batman. Oh my god, that was dreadful. All right. So,
Yeah, I don't
Batman.
think I could have been an actor.
So,
So yeah,
Batman.
so I bought it. So let me explain what MetaQuest 3 is. It's a VR system that is not cloud and
And
it's
it's not
not
plugged.
attached. It's completely unplugged. All you need to do is charge it, and it's a completely independent system that goes in your head, and it doesn't rely on a PC. It doesn't rely on Xbox or any console whatsoever. The console is what you put on your head. Everything is in there. And I think it has 4K resolution, although I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look into that. I think it does actually. MetaQuest 3. Are you going to search it really quick?
Yep.
And it comes with 3 months of MetaQuest Plus, which is a subscription thingy,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like Game Pass. So there's a lot of free games that they're there, but I really only been trying two. One is
Batman.
I am Batman, which is amazing. It's not made by Arkham, but it feels like it was made by the people that made Arkham. I'm sorry, not Arkham. That's not the studio. What's the name of the studio?
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady. Yeah, it feels like it was made by Rocksteady. It's obviously not made by Rocksteady, but if somebody had not told me that it wasn't Rocksteady, I would have not known. I would have swear that was a Rocksteady game. It feels like you're playing an Arkham game in VR. You're in the game, you're throwing punches, you're using your batarang, you're swinging, you're investigating, you're
How's the
punching, counterattacking. Go
yeah?
ahead.
How does that work? I mean, you're punching a lot and stuff, or what?
No, it is 4K. You saw it? Dazzling 4K graphics.
Hmm.
It's first person because it's VR, right? So
Yes.
it's first person, and it almost, how can I explain this? You know Doom, back in the day when Doom came out, you go from like one room to another
Hmm.
type of thing. So when you're actually fighting, you go from like one set of guys to another. So you'll have like four guys maybe at first, then you beat them up, then another four will come or another six, then you beat them up, and then there'll be like maybe another eight. Like there's probably no more than eight at a time.
Hmm.
It's not like Arkham City where you can have up to like 30,
Yeah.
right? So it kind of, and it'll break it up, and then so you beat those, and then you move on, kind of it just like Arkham type of thing, and then you go to another. Well, Arkham Asylum is kind of that way. You go from one room to another
Yeah, in reality, most
in
of
the
the games
asylum.
are the
If
same.
you
You
think
know,
about
you
it.
do a lot of investigating and stuff like that. But once you get to the punches, it's a whole bunch of guys, and fight another bunch of guys, and then you're done. You go to the next thing, right? So, yeah, that's
So
very Arkham.
it's exactly like that, except that maybe you have a little bit less of an option. It's more like what a stealth game used to be. So you have, it's almost like, remember Star Wars Outlaws? Like, okay, this section is pure action, and then you go to this section that's pure stealth,
Hmm.
right? And if you got out of the stealth mode, you pretty much lose. Remember
Okay,
that?
so
It was like a game over.
yeah, so it's this
It's
is a
kind of like
stealth
the
mission, and
same
that's
thing.
it.
Yeah, it's kind of like it wasn't the whole mission. It's more like this is the room where you're gonna fight type of
Hmm.
thing, and then go to another room. Like, okay, this is your stealth room where you're gonna be hanging from gargoyle to gargoyle, hanging enemies. You'll grab them, pull them up, punch them, and then they come hanging, and then you gotta swing to another one or go under the sewers. But if you get out of stealth and you start fighting, there's too many people that are like from the rooftops that are just gonna shoot you down.
Hmm.
So it doesn't feel like they're forcing you stealth, but that's
But it
essentially
is.
what they're doing. Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of works. So I don't, maybe later on it'll get more where you can mix stealth and fighting. I don't think so, but it's possible. But that's kind of how it works. You go from one room and this is what you have to do. You go to another room and this gonna have to do. Just like Arkham, you have this big map and you have to go to certain areas first and other areas and so on. The
Hmm.
fighting, it's you punch, you literally punch, and the way the counter attack is somebody's gonna hit you blindly from the side. It'll come like a little signal, like a bat arm, and all you have to do is like kind of extend your arm sideways, and it'll take
It
you
will
to
do the
that guy. So
counter. All
you
right.
throw the first punch to somebody, that's who kind of jumps into, and that's who you're jumping until you change into another guy, and then that's the guy that focuses until you change to another guy, and that's the guy you punch. So it's kind of like your jab is is telling the game who to focus
Hmm.
to throw the punches.
All right.
And so if you change the jab to somebody else, then it'll go to that guy. So it can be like boom, boom, boom. And so you see somebody coming like boom, 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 boom. And see something boom. And then it kind of goes like that. And it has its moments. It's almost like it has combo finishers. So like boom, 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 and then I'll tell you, okay, it'll give you some image indicators. Okay, throw a hook, throw a uppercut, or go
Okay.
and do like a double fist, and it'll do like a special move. Little things like that.
All
You
right.
can use your cake to kind of stun them. You can run, flip around it, kind of like in the Arkham Asylums where you can flip
Mm-hmm.
on top and go
Jump over
backwards.
them.
I go behind them, sorry. You have bombs, you have batarangs. It's pretty cool, man. It's actually I am very surprised in the fact that it's not tethered to anything. That's amazing. It's much better than what the PSVR 1 was. I haven't played PSVR 2 yet, but from what I've investigated, it's not as great as PSVR 2, but again, it's not tethered to anything, so I'd rather have that.
So it's kind of like having a Xbox Series S kind of thing,
Yeah,
like something in
yeah.
between.
I mean,
Yeah.
between a Series S and a Switch, I think I'd rather have the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not gonna have the most powerful machine, I'd rather have it portable. I mean, portable and the option to play it both ways.
Yeah, of course. All
So
right.
that's where I come. PSVR 2, if it wasn't tethered, maybe that would be my preference, but that means I'm tied. I'm tied to my machine.
But by
And
the
then the other
way,
game,
oh,
uh-huh.
before we move forward, by the way, I'm not sure if you're able to download it for this particular the Quest 3, but there is a Space Marine VR game that they say that it's bunkers that is really good. So you might want to check that out. Let's
I'll see if it's
let's.
out on Meta Quest 3. The other game that I'm playing a lot, it's stupid. It's a mini golf game.
Huh. Go figure.
It's just it is just amazing, man. It is so fun to play mini golf in VR. It just sucks my time. I just enjoy it. Oh, that seems like a very expensive headset.
you,
This is
you,
probably like one of those.
yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
Uh, I, I,
I don't
I,
think Meta Quest 3 can play this.
mm, I used to play Tiger Woods and the Wii, and that was actually pretty
Uh-huh.
fun. And it was the same thing, right? I mean, it wasn't VR, but you had the Wii mode, and you just did the swings and stuff, and it just the advanced the little pack on the back that made it a little bit more,
Mm-hmm. Hefty.
yeah, and it was pretty fun because it did detect like your the twist of your wrist and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and that way you could actually uh, play the game, not just it wasn't just like swings for swing's sake. You did have to really play it right, so it was pretty cool. So I can imagine a
Yeah.
VR.
This one is mini golf, Golfito. So you're not making big swings. But it's just fun. It's just I think it's more fun because you had like this really weird worlds, I would say, that you
Mm-hmm.
can play mini golf. Think about like Mario Golf, just weird worlds that you're playing. Like I could never play this in real world, but it's possible if somebody put a lot of money. So
Let's
what
see.
about you? So that's what I've been playing, I think. I think that's most of the stuff I've been playing for the past few months. Granted, Mass Effect 3 probably took all of December. And it did. I think I finished like 3 days after Christmas, now that I think about it.
Oh,
Yeah, because
oh.
even though I had the Meta Quest 3 before Christmas, I didn't open it until like a few days later because I wanted to finish Mass Effect 3 before I
Mm-hmm.
started playing VR.
By the way, yes, Warhammer 40k VR experience. Sorry, Space Marine VR. Defenders of Abrax is a Warhammer 40k VR experience that's available on the MetaQuest 3. So there you go.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look.
You can get your little bit of Space Marine shooting going on there.
That sounds fun.
I,
Yeah. All right.
I can't imagine. I mean, I just can't imagine it because I don't have a VR set. But I just can't imagine playing in VR and you're shooting your big goddamn bolter and and then all of a sudden some alien jumps to you and you just grab your chainsword and just see it splash in front of your eyes. That would be awesome. So,
You know what game? One of my favorite games in PSVR 1 was Doom, BFR. You know what BFR stand for?
big fucking
Virtual fucking reality.
fucking reality. Yeah, you know, it had to be. It's Doom.
Yeah, but that game was amazing in VR. One of my favorite ones. It felt like I was playing Doom in an arcade, an expensive arcade.
Wow. I remember like ages ago, and I'm talking about, way back when VR was just coming in. I remember this. We had this show in town, and there was this guy that made a VR headset for Doom. So even though it was, crappy graphics and crappy VR, it was still amazing at that time. I was like, oh my god, this is in VR, and you're just moving and doing stuff, right? So I just can't imagine whatever you can do with current VR, like like the Quest. So yeah,
So you play that? You actually played the original Doom in
yeah,
VR?
yeah. I played it, but like I said, old school VR, old school do old school computers running it. So it was more of it was more like a student kind of thing. Um, there were a bunch of different stuff that different students from different schools were doing in technology, and one of those was, hey, we're doing VR. and we're showing it with Doom. So it was cool.
You know what's funny? No, not funny, but now you mentioned that. Doom BFVR, you can play the original Doom in VR.
I get that would be pretty much it. Maybe it looked a little bit crappier because of how the lenses worked at that time for VR, but still,
Yeah, yeah,
it was amazing. It was amazing. I was like, wow, this is going places, you know.
yeah.
So
It
yeah.
felt good. I mean, I just played the original Doom not too long ago, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I had played in BFR, but just a little bit because I wanted to play
Mm-hmm.
the modern game in VR. Because it felt like, the one that you played on the PS4.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I would like to get a headset for this computer because I have the hardware to run whatever is required, right? So I just need
hmm
the VR equipment, right? So I'll probably try and figure it out and maybe have year 1 year from now just get a full VR set for the computer.
So I think the PSVR 2, you can connect it to the computer. I just don't know if it comes with all the bells and whistles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just mentioning that because I would say for a high-end computer, PSVR 2 may be the cheapest headset.
Mm-hmm.
That is OLED, that it has 4K and it has OLED lenses and so on and so on. Eye tracking, it can track your hands, etc., etc.
Mm, well, according to this, the Valve Index is generally considered the best VR headset.
But how much is it?
I have no clue. I'll have to check it out. But hey,
That's go ahead.
I'll just do a little bit of studying on the subject and to see what's best, both
Oh,
price wise and performance, right? So I'll figure it out, and maybe I'll try it
Doom
later on.
BFR is on Steam.
Huh? There you go.
I thought this game was lost forever in the PSVR 1, but no, thank God it's in Steam. I'm telling you, man, that game is amazing. Woo! Would love to play that again.
Well, I wonder if the oh, not here. Store and Space Marine VR. I wonder if it's like straight out or if you have to go to the. Yeah, I'm guessing there's like it has its own store for the Quest 3, right?
Yes,
It
yes,
has
it
its
has
own
its own story.
storefront. Oh yeah. Well, there you go. There's something to look forward to. Let's see. Let's see if we can find something real simple. Not that pony trailer, but actual. Let's see.
For what?
Your gameplay.
But for what?
Oh, for MetaQuest 3.
Oh, just in general?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for Space Marine. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Quest 3, it
Oh,
seems.
and there's the other one, the Battle Sisters. Nice for MetaQuest 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3. Battle Sisters. In Warhammer, just like there's the Space Marines, there's a Sisterhood as well, which are the
Mm-hmm.
Battle Sisters, and they also have their VR game. So hey, there you go. And they say that it's a good one. Again, I haven't played it. I have no way to play it, but they say that it's good. So there's two games now. Cheers.
Cheers. And then the last game I played is, which I mentioned to you, it's a GTA clone, but it's really good. Sleeping Dogs.
Oh yeah, Sleeping Dogs. That's one awesome game. I
It
like
is
it.
so good. I don't understand why it didn't take off.
Um, Let me tell you a story. It did take off, but not as Sleeping Dogs. Originally, the game was what you call it, the true crime
True Crime?
games. Yeah. So the
Uh-huh.
third one, it was going to be Streets of Hong Kong, and for some reason or another, they weren't like, hey, you know what? Let's just go another way, right? And it turned into Sleeping Dogs.
Let me drink some water. You know what's funny? Well, let me drink water and then go back to that.
I should go get water myself. Hey team, we'll be right back. We're getting some water.
I'm coming back. I'm here.
Okay, you
So you
come
can get
back
water for me.
and you talk to the people, and I'll be back. I do have to get some water, and it's downstairs, and my throat is killing me now. So
Yeah, I started getting really thirsty. So it's funny, Mel, you can go and get your water. I'm just gonna build on what you just said. It's funny that you mentioned that it's supposed to be true crime, Streets in LA, I think it was called the original one.
mhm.
Because when I was playing this game, that's all I could think of. It just reminded me of true crime, and I was in the back of my head, I was wondering if it was, even the same developers or if they were just really inspired by that game. But yeah, for those of you who haven't played this, I highly recommend. I mean, they made a remaster edition, and it looks great. It looks like a modern game. I mean, not okay. Let me backtrack. I shouldn't say a modern game because we're in the PS5, Xbox One era. I mean, Xbox Series X era. But it looks easily like a really nice PS4, Xbox One video game. It's a lot quicker than GTA. It's probably not as big of GTA, and it probably has um not as many modes of GTA. I would say it's a little tiny bit scaled down compared to GTA, but not by a lot. And it does things differently like this. I think the movement on Sleeping Dogs is years ahead of GTA. It's a lot more fluid, it's quick. The battle system is it's unique for that style of game. And I don't know. It feels a little bit more like an RPG, like an old school RPG than GTA.
It does.
But sorry.
It does. It does have a lot of like a gain experience for doing this or doing that and stuff like that. So it does kind of feel like an RPG.
I like the way you gain cars. Like you do missions that are car related and then you get that car.
Mm-hmm.
Or you do a mission where you're supposed to be dressed like a waiter and then you get that outfit.
And
But
the
go
outfits
ahead.
do have like perks and stuff like that as well. They like depending on the outfit, they either give you like stats and
Oh,
some.
I didn't realize that because I haven't really changed my outfit that much.
Oh yeah, they do. So be mindful of that. If you like put a full set, it will have like specific stats stuff like that. And some outfits give you moves as well. There's like
Oh, really? I
yeah,
had not noticed that because
there's
I put one outfit on and that's all I've been going with.
there's there's like very specific outfits. Like there's this like Shaoling outfit, and you're pretty much playing as the Monkey King with staff and everything. And then there's this one other outfit which is a drunken master fighting style and stuff like that. So it does change your fighting style quite a bit. It does give you special moves and stuff like that.
I mean, look at this. I mean, I love that. You can everything's interactive. Not everything, but a lot of things are interactive when you're fighting.
Yeah, and not only that. I mean, the fighting itself. I mean, you play any Grand Theft Auto
Open
and
world.
or open world for that matter, and usually
Yeah.
it goes down to 2 3 hits, and you're done. Just pull
Yeah.
out your machine gun and you're done for. And in this game, there are guns, but the hand to hand combat is the main dish, and whatever you do, you have a lot of options. The combat is great. The fluidity of it is great. You have a lot of stuff like that. What we're looking at right now, like finishers and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And it's a really really good kung fu China martial arts, Jongwoo kind of story. So it's great.
So I didn't realize that this was supposed to be so the streets of what was the name of the old
There was a
game?
Streets of LA, and then the second one was the Streets of New York.
But it's what was the name of it was True Crime?
True
Streets of
crime.
LA?
Yeah, true crime.
True Crime. Okay, that was the series, True Crime,
Yeah.
right?
And then for some reason they just dished the true crime and the streets of whatever, and they just went for Sleeping Dogs.
It's an amazing game. It's
Yeah,
awesome. I never played the other two. Did you play the other two?
I played the first one. The second one I didn't, but the first one I did. I mean, a long time ago. I don't really remember much. I just remember that you had Christopher Walken as one of the old police officers, and that's about it.
Do you remember if you enjoyed it or not?
Yeah, I do remember I enjoyed it, and that's precisely because it was after after Grand Theft Auto 3, and I think after Vice City. So after Vice City, playing as a cop for a change was a little bit more refreshing. It was a little bit different playing a police officer and stuff. Now in this one, you do play a police officer. However, you're undercover, so you're still doing
Yeah.
a lot of crime, and then you start doing police work, and then you have to be mindful of what you do. So this one, this one joins both worlds. This
Yeah.
one helps you to see both ends of the coin, and it's also kind of it does at moments it kind of feels like the Departed, where you're doing all this
Yeah.
precisely being undercover, and that you're just losing your mind
That's
because
exactly what it feels like.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a good story,
Internal
good
Affairs,
characters.
which is the Korean version of The Part. I mean, The Departed is the American version of the Internal Affairs, let's be clear.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So yeah.
This is an amazing game. I'm sad that they didn't continue with the franchise.
Well, it's had a lot of a resurgence after the latest edition came out. So hopefully, some people is paying attention enough to say, hey, it might be good to go for another one, and have a great combat systems going out for it.
Who's the developer? Oh, who's the publisher actually?
Good question. I don't remember.
Square Enix?
Yeah, Square Enix is the publisher, I think. But Sleeping Dogs developer United Front. United
I don't
Front.
know who they are.
I don't know if this still exists.
Probably not. If it's Square Enix, probably not. They're always disappointed with whatever they issue.
Uh-huh. United Front Games. Okay, they did the Master Chief Collector's Edition with 343. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, they are the developers of Mod Nation Racers and the critically commercial success of Sleeping Dogs, in addition to collaborations with other studios on projects like Tomb Raider Definitive Edition and the Halo Master Chief Collection. And defunct October 17th, 2016, 8 years ago. So they're not around anymore, but well, pretty much. Oh, interesting. Former members. Okay, so this was made with EA Black Box people, Rockstar Vancouver people, Radical Entertainment people, and Volition people, of all things. So
Sleeping Dogs?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it had a good pedigree. So
That's impressive.
the thing here is to ask Square Enix to say, hey, maybe you. I don't know if they have the rights because they were the publishers. Who knows? But it'd be awesome if they could pick this back up.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
So yeah, awesome game, great experience, and right now at the moment, it runs fantastic. It runs well, but it looks awesome as well with the remaster that they got. So yeah.
I've been playing it on the Steam Deck. It looks fantastic.
Okay. So what else?
Well, that's it for me. That's where I'm at. How about you, Mel? I'm the one who's been talking for the most part.
Well, what have I been doing? That's a good question. Been doing quite a bit, going through a lot of changes as well. I'm gonna be moving from this house.
Another move?
Another move. 1 year, one move. Go figure. But I am moving to a place where I will have a full-on studio. So no more little room for this. It's gonna be a big room that will give us enough space to do an actual small studio. So that's a good improvement.
Now, are you gonna rent a place or are you buying a place?
No, I'm just renting. I'm just renting for the moment. Still looking
Okay.
to buy later on, but for the moment, I'm just going to be renting. And everything set up in place. They wanted this house back. They wanted to sell it, so we were like, okay, then we'll move fast, and we did, and we found the other place. So it's good,
Gotcha,
good stuff.
gotcha.
Also, it's like 5 minutes from work, so all the better.
Oh, even better. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah, I
cool.
was about to ask you because if you were not buying, why the change? But you just answered that.
Yeah, it's just 5 minutes from work. It's the same cost of rent as right here, and it's quite bigger, so quite better in all senses, in all sense of forms. So
Great.
that's gonna be happening soon. I'll still try to do a power up show, but it depends on how that moves. What else? Well, regarding games, Jesus, I've been going all over the place. Of course, we have
Hmm?
the we have the usual ones like well, yeah, Satisfactory.
Well, let me
Yeah,
ask you
that's
this.
it.
I'm going to ask you a few questions here. Have you played Space Marines again?
Yes, I've been playing a little bit Space Marine, trying to catch up and grow up a little bit in levels and get more like armor pieces and stuff, colors and what have you, like the cosmetic side of things. So yeah, I've been
Are you
playing.
playing as much as you thought you would? Because like 3 months ago, you're like, this is my next life.
Mm, not as much, but that's because I've been roaming around with different games, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
part of
I
it,
mean,
right? But
and to be fair, you've put a lot of hours into Space Marine.
yes, I did. I mean, at the beginning, yes, I did put a lot of hours, and right now I'm just on the rinse and repeat side of the game, right? So it's
Yeah.
good. It's had two updates, had like two major updates since then, and with major updates, we mean that there's a lot more like cosmetic stuff to get out of the game, but also there's two more PvE missions, right? So it's good.
Yeah.
I've gone through
Good,
them a
good.
few times each time, and different difficulties and all that. So it's pretty good. And like I said, I play back and forth. I play some of the stuff, and then I jump a little bit into Space Marine, and then I jump back into something else, and then I jump again into Space Marine, and it's kind of a balanced thing.
All right. So that answers one question. I forgot the name of the game, but I'm gonna ask you, and you know what it is. The resource management power
Mm-hmm.
building
Satisfactory. Yes.
satisfactory. There you go.
Yeah, not as much. Sometimes I do jump into it a little bit and just do like a little advance on the side of the factory or whatever, and just leave it at that, and I jump out. So I'm not 100% tied into it like I was like tethered before. Like I had it connected to the veins. No,
Yeah.
but
And then
I
that happened when your factory kind of went down, right? Because something exploded or something.
Yeah, yeah. What happened is that I had my full on grid working with resources that came from far away with drones, and I forgot to set up the drones to get recharged. So by the time that the drones stopped bringing resources into the factory that took care of all the power, no more power, doom. Everything shuts down, and I had to find a way to start over again, pretty much, to get the drones back in working orders. So instead of doing all that big troubleshooting, I said, I've learned my lesson. I'll try on a bigger difficulty. So I started a new game on the hardest setting. It's not too much difficulty, but the setting on the same map where you start. And this time it was a desert, and lo and behold, it's been quite good because even though it's a desert, there's easier ways to just bring all the resources back to a central point. So I played until that point when I did my huge factory, and I started going out of the factory to do smaller factories to bring stuff in, and that's what I'm doing right now. Every time I jump, I just do a little bit of a smaller factory or bring some resources and call it a day. So yeah, that's it for Satisfactory.
That's good. All right. I think when I was playing Mass Effect 3, I think I saw you playing Balatro. Is that true?
Yes, addictive as
And
fuck.
what I think I have an idea what that is. It's a card game, right?
Okay, it's a poker game. Very specific. It is
Yes.
poker, though there's no way around it. It is poker. However, it is a roguelike poker, which means
It's a
that
what, sorry?
a
Was it
ro
what was the last thing you said?
a roguelike poker.
Roguelike poker. Okay, okay.
Yeah, so it's a roguelike poker, and pretty much what you do is you have to, as any other poker game, just make your hands. Your hands give you points. You have to instead of playing against another poker game, you're just playing against the points, right? So the better hands you get, the more points you get, and if you go over whatever the current challenge is, then you go into the next challenge. So
Okay.
the roguelike element comes where you get all sort of crazy cards that change how the game works, kind of like Magic or any other card game. So
Okay.
you have this you can get jokers, and your jokers stay in your game, and each joker does a different effect. Like it will one joker will tell you it will give you all your points times three every time you use a spade, as an example.
Oh shit.
So
Okay.
so the spade, you play a spade card, and the spade card gives you times three for the points. So instead, if it's a 10, now it's giving you 30 instead of 10, and
Yeah.
you start to do all these crazy combinations, and there's a lot of more stuff going in for it. There's the jokers. There's cards that augment the cost of the, or more likely the how many points you get for different kind of hands, right? Like if you get like a straight, if you get a flush, all of the different combination of card hands, they have like a certain cost. Like if you get a two of kind, it will give you 20 points, but if you get a flush, it will give you 100 points, right?
Gotcha.
So
I don't
there's
I don't mean to interrupt, but we're I don't know. Are you seeing what what's showing up for Sleeping Dogs? There's a car chase.
mm-hmm.
That's the other thing that I really like about this game, that it feels like they when there's a car chase, it feels like you're playing Burnout.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It
You're
is
like
awesome.
smashing the cars and stuff. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
it's just I love Burnout, and it's
Which is
it's
one
something you
thing.
don't get in GTA.
Yeah,
Say that again?
which reminds me, it's we have to make a list of what games would we'd like to bring back. That would be
Oh,
awesome.
Burnout for sure.
Well, no, don't burn your bullets here. Let's do that later. But yeah. So yeah, Balatro, very addictive. It's the simplest game ever, but again, it's quite complicated, and there's a lot of stuff that you can do with it. So yeah, great stuff.
That's
So
good.
Balatro,
All
sure.
right. So we got Space Marines, Satisfactory, and Balacho. Have you
Hmm.
been playing Vampire Survivors Castlevania Edition?
Not since I unlocked all of the Castlevania and Contra characters.
Oh God, that seems like a lot.
Yeah, and then there's the other DLCs and the regular characters, right? So, but I did already unlock all of the Castlevania and Contra characters, so I probably haven't given it a rest a little bit. Granted, it's been on Android, so that's been my portable option, Vampire
Gotcha.
Survivors.
Gotcha.
Even though I do have it on Steam, but on on Android, that's been my jam for Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I mean, it's a perfect portable game, and it doesn't
Mm,
require too much input, right? It's
exactly.
just
It's very
movement.
simple. It's as simple as it can be. So yeah.
Yeah,
What
yeah, it
else?
makes perfect sense. All right,
Uh,
what else? What did I know you were been playing? I don't know. That's it. I ran out.
you ran out of ideas. Okay, so um, a Flight Simulator 25.
Oh yeah.
24. Sorry. Flight Simulator 24. I've been playing a little bit. I already have my commercial license for single wing vehicles, and I already have my license for helicopter. So that was something that was hard to get, and so on. So good. I play now and then, and it's just pretty relaxing just to be flying over there. It's relaxing on a plane. It looks a little bit more stressful on the helicopter. It is quite more difficult
Really?
to fly a helicopter. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because since it's a simulator, it does a lot of stuff that you do usually don't see on, let's say, a helicopter in Grand Theft Auto, right, or stuff like that.
I mean, the helicopters are hard to fly in Grand Theft Auto, so I can't
Hmm.
even imagine a real simulator.
Exactly. It's quite more difficult. So yeah, and under that same vein, I've been playing a little bit of Star Citizen 2. I did. I think I mentioned before, but I
Yeah,
became a proud sponsor of Star
yeah.
Citizen, and it's been interesting. I haven't gotten the full gist of it yet, um, but it's been cool so far. It's visually it's stunning. Flying the ships is great. Being on the floor is a little bit more difficult. Like all the commands that you need to just be a first person character. It's a little bit hard, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I haven't done
Let's
anything
see.
like nothing special really. I've just been testing it out, checking how to go into a planet, go out of it, and stuff like that. So it's been interesting. I'll report more when we get there.
Gotcha. What
And
else?
on the driving side, I played a little bit of Forza Motorsports with the simulator, like the wheel and stuff.
Okay.
But then I jumped into the Formula One 23, which is in Game Pass, and that's why I jumped into it. And it's a whole nother experience. It's awesome. It feels great.
Really?
Yeah, it feels awesome because in Forza you have to think about starting with like a small little crappy car. Well, I mean, for the gamut of cars that it has, you start with this little smaller crappy cars, and you have to be tuning them, and still, they're not that great. In Formula One, even though you have a lot of tuning and all that, you are jumping straight into a high-powered machine that runs like hell and reacts very good, right?
Oh, so
So
you're not, yeah. Okay, I follow. I follow what you're saying.
yeah, so not only that, but of course, you since I'm playing the career mode, then you do everything from getting your own team together and getting it to work together, and you work through the weeks until the Grand Prix, and you play the week of the Grand Prix, and you have to do testing and stuff like that before actually going into the race. So it's pretty cool. It's very it really gets you into the sport of Formula One. So it's all
Formula.
and it feels great. Like driving feels awesome.
Which reminds me, and I think I mentioned this during the holidays. I finally watched the Gran Turismo movie,
Hmm.
which is awesome.
Oh yeah,
That movie has no right to be as good as it is. No
thank
right.
you. I told
Like
you that was
it
great.
should not, like it should have been a tenth of what it turned out to. That was a good movie, well well produced. Even the sections that were obviously a marketing ploy for Sony
Mm-hmm.
and for Gran Turismo, they were just done with such respect
Mm-hmm.
to both the game, the audience, and the fan.
I,
It was just
I
top notch.
I only have just one very small complaint. Very small
Uh-huh.
complaint. At the beginning when they're running from the police, and then they use like this escape you escape the police or stuff like that, that it looks like sort of like a video game,
Oh
but
yeah,
it but
yeah,
it's
that
but it
threw
has
me
nothing
off.
to do, yeah, exactly, it has nothing to do
That
with
threw me off.
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But other than
I agree
that,
with you.
the movie's awesome. It's great, great performances. Um, the fact that the original guy that did the racing did also the stunt racing for
The
for
stunts,
this
yeah,
movie. That's awesome. It's a great story. It's a great success story, and also a great success story for video games, right? So yeah.
yeah. No,
Also,
it's
Neil.
great.
Also, it's Neil Blomkamp. I like his direction, right? So that
What other things has he done? Because he he sounds extremely familiar, but I can't place the other movies.
He is District 9. He is
District 9, there you go.
yeah.
Yeah, District 9 is great. And Oblivion, I think he made.
Oblivion, he
But
did Oblivion is the Tom Cruise one. I don't think he did Oblivion. I'm not
no,
sure.
Matt Damon, no? Isn't Matt Damon? Oh no, you're right. This is the
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, so he didn't do Oblivion. He did the Matt Damon one, which I
Yeah,
can't remember the name
yeah
of it.
the Matt Damon one with the exoskeleton and stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah, he's great. He's great. I mean, he's good. He was about to make an Alien movie too, but for some reason he cut him off. So
Oh, by the way, I saw The Last Alien. It's not bad, but it really just. Did you watch it, Romulus? All right, then I
not
won't
yet.
say anything. You watch it on your own.
Yeah, I want to watch it. I mean, I know it's not going to be the best movie ever, but hey, I'll also watch it. But
Yeah, it's not bad. And I was about to complain about something, but that would
they'll
somewhat
have
spoil
to
the movie
wait.
to you. So it would have to wait. So I think it's on Disney Plus.
All right, yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a
So
shot.
give it a shot and we can talk about it.
Yeah. So what else? So that's it for the simulators. I think it was just well, I did try a little bit of Elite Dangerous, but haven't got deep into it. I just started it basically, so nothing much
Okay.
to report on that one. Let's see now. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, so played. I mean, I tested a lot of little games that I hadn't played yet, and I already had them on the list. So yeah, but actually play, of course, more Street Fighter. It's in the same vein as a Space Marine. Just jump in, play a couple of rounds, and be done
I'm
with it.
surprised. I'm surprised you've been playing so much Street Fighter as you have.
I like Street Fighter, and I like Terry Bogard. That's the reality of it. It's Terry
Well, I
Bogard.
know you like Street Fighter, but it out of your fighting games, Street Fighter has turned out to be your least favorite franchise in the past few years.
Usually, yes. I'm more inclined to SNK or Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
True,
I
but
mean, I'm not saying you don't like it, but from your
mhm.
top five, it fell to the bottom.
Yeah, but then Troy Borgard came in, so I had to play more. It's a Troy Borgard effect. You can't go against it. So yeah, Street Fighter a little bit. What else? Okay, I've been playing. I have the set for this year, and maybe I'll stream it. I don't know. Maybe if anyone asks for it, I guess. But I have the set of finishing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Well, Final Fantasy VII. I forget the subtitle of it, but the pretty much
Yeah, the latest one.
yeah. It's God, I totally forgot the
I
term.
think it is Rebirth.
No, Rebirth is the second one. Final Fan.
Remake, final. I think it's just remake. Integrate.
Integrate. Yeah, thank you. So I have this set of finishing Final Fantasy Integrate, followed by Final Fantasy Rebirth. It is already waiting on my list. However, that's going to be after I finish Final Fantasy 16, which is quite a delight so far.
I heard 16 is amazing. Now, let me ask you this. Why the remakes after 16? Or you started playing 16 and because of that you felt like playing the remakes?
Well, the good thing about Final Fantasy is that if it's a different number, it's
Yeah.
usually a different game altogether, right? It has
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
to
yeah,
do
yeah.
one with the other, etc., etc. And I liked the fact
Except
that
for Integrate and Rebirth.
but that's the thing. It's Final Fantasy VII Integrate, Final Fantasy VII
Yeah.
Rebirth, so it's still Final
Yeah, yeah,
Fantasy
yeah, yeah.
VII. It's pretty much Final Fantasy VII split up in how I don't know how many games they'll try to
Yeah.
squeeze out of us, right? So,
3.
but I'm guessing they're gonna go for an extra one there just to appease
Number
fans.
4, really?
Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, the fans will pay it, so why not? Heck, I'm not that big of a fan against other Final Fantasies, and still, I got them, so yeah, that's gonna happen. But 16 has this one different thing that the gameplay itself, the combat, it's action,
Yeah.
like fully action, right? Uh, but the action in itself is the least of my likes for the
What
game.
you like? Yeah.
The story is great. The story is very it's very akin to something like a Game of Thrones or something like that, right? Like it has a lot of politics and intrigue into it. The characters are interesting in itself, and it does have a lot of depth. It's the one that does use a lot of fucks and stuff like that. But hey, it's a it's an ugly world, so people has to be ugly, I guess. Sort of, kind of. It's still Final Fantasy.
Well,
People aren't
16 out of
ugly.
out of all the Final Fantasy, 16 is the one that really catches my attention. That's probably the one that I'm gonna try first.
Yeah, it's gonna be easy because, like I said, its action is not like turn based or anything like that, right? And it is
And
full
it's
on.
not that, I mean, that helps, but it's the setting. The
Hmm.
setting looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy has been all over the place. There's been like a very fantasy, old school stuff. There
Mm-hmm.
has been very futuristic stuff. There's been stuff in between, like a sort of fantasy, but sort of a technology. And this one, the setting, yes, is fantasy, but it is, like I said, more akin to a Game of Thrones kind of
Medieval.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit medieval, but a lot of intrigue and plot twists and stuff like that. And the characters are more believable than any other Final Fantasy in general. And yeah, it's been awesome. Visually, it's stunning. It's really good. It's great. System wise, it's very simple. It doesn't have a lot of systems going on for it. You have the usual like crafting, but crafting is like, oh, you have these two items. There you go. You have your third item, right? And it all revolves about the fighting, and the setting, and the story. There's a lot of cutscenes. Behold, there's a lot of cutscenes. So if you don't like if you don't like a game session where there's like 10 minutes of cutscenes in between, you might not want to go for it. But just give it a try. So far, I've been
The,
impressed.
it's it's not that I don't like in cutscenes, it's just that when I play, I want to play for
Mm-hmm.
the most part. Like I don't want to be waiting to play, or else I would just watch a movie. Which
Yeah.
again, I'm not against watching a movie in video games. It's just that's when I sit down with a controller in my hand, that's not the purpose to watch a movie.
Mm-hmm. So
So
it's
that's the
it's
only.
it's it's probably something in between. I mean, it's not as bad as Metal Gear, I guess. So
Any Kojima game is like 30 minutes later.
exactly 30 minutes later, and you're still watching a cutscene, right? So maybe it's not like that, but it does have a lot of cutscenes because it does follow a lot of the story with the characters.
Okay.
Which, by the way, voice acting is amazing. Voice acting is great, and since it's all like you grab all the British Islands and you get all the accents from there, and you just pour them on every character back and forth, and that's your voice acting. So there's a lot, not only the accents but the lingo as well. The lingo is very reminiscent of different places of Europe, so it's very
So,
good.
all right. So why after 16 are you going to the remakes?
Is the other way around. I already had Integrate. I started playing it a little bit, but I had played it before on the PlayStation 4, the remake version, right? I
The
played it.
remake, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't advance much because I got caught into other games. So now I have it on PC, which runs, of course, a lot better and it's more complete. It has some this extra storylines that the PlayStation One doesn't have, etc., etc. But
Well, wait, the PlayStation 4 doesn't have, but 5, I think it does, right? With Integrate?
yeah, the only
Okay.
PlayStation 4 it doesn't have it, but Integrate is the same on PC and Play 5,
Okay, okay, okay.
PS5. But at the end, it's still Final Fantasy 7, and
Okay.
I've already played Final Fantasy 7, the original one, albeit I played it like too many hours to remember, right? So I was playing this one for a little bit, but then 16 came out, and I was like, well, I want to try something different. I just want to see how how different things go out. So yeah, I jumped into 16, and it's been a fun ride, and I'm waiting for more. There's still a lot more to play. I don't know if I'm like in mid game, sort of, but I know there's a lot more waiting for me on there. So yeah, until I finish it, I'll jump straight back into Integrate, and then Rebirth, and then same story with 15. I played it on PS4. I haven't finished. I didn't finish it, so I'm gonna try to do that. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of RPGs for me. A lot.
Good. All right.
Uh,
Now,
finally,
let me ask. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, finally, there's one little bonus area here. There's this one little game. Well, story time. There's this one time where I bought a PS TV. I bought it
Oh, yeah.
because it cost me like 600 pesos, which is nothing for any particular kind of console. So I bought a PS TV, and I bought this little game called Freedom Wars. And I remember last time that you said that Freedom
Oh,
Wars was coming out.
yes. Yes.
Well, it just came out, and guess what? I
You
have,
bought it already?
huh, I have roughly 10 hours already in my pocket.
What?
Yeah,
You already have 10 hours in Freedom Wars?
yes, sir.
Dude, I need to buy that. But
Yeah,
you're playing so many games. Why? Why, Mel? Why didn't you just wait for a sale?
because Freedom Wars is the one only game I bought the PSTV for, and it cost me 600 pesos at that time, the little console. And I say little because hey, I have it right here. Little console. This is the PSTV.
Yeah.
So it's quite little.
Yep. I remember.
So that's the only reason I bought the PSTV is it was for Freedom Wars. So all these years forward, and the game itself it just came for roughly over 600 pesos,
The
and I
game, really?
yeah, so it should be very cheap on in dollars. I don't know how cheap, but it should be.
No, it's 40. I don't
Oh,
know why. So it's like 800 pesos.
okay. Oh yeah, for me it was 600 pesos. So I just had to do it, and even though it's an outdated game for all things considered, it is still a great game. It runs well, and it's quite enjoyable, and it does bring back memories. So I had to jump into it again, and maybe this time I'll finish it. Now that I don't need the to connect the PS TV to play it.
I was about to ask you, did you ever finish your original Freedom Wars?
No,
But
no, I
you
didn't.
just answered it.
I didn't. So this time it's gonna be something different. If you get it, we'll definitely play together because yes, it does have co-op.
Well, and I think there is a point where you need co-op to advance.
Uh huh.
Not as in like it doesn't force you, but I think it's too hard if you do it on your own.
Yeah, yeah. You can play online and stuff. So definitely. And don't get me wrong. It's also the fact that it is a Monster Hunter clone,
Yeah.
which tells you a lot. We know what happens to us in Monster Hunter. Which, by the way, it's ready on the list as soon as it comes out. We'll be playing Monster Hunter.
Well, I don't know about myself because remember, I don't have my PS5 with me.
Of
Oh, and you're
course,
gonna buy it in Steam too,
I
also.
have it already on Steam.
No, see.
Yeah.
So yeah, that may not even work even if I had my PS5
Mm. I
because I
think
don't
there.
have a strong computer
I think
to
there's
run
going to
it.
be
Not,
a. I think there's going to be a like a crossplay.
oh, really?
I
Okay.
think so.
Well, then maybe,
I'm
maybe I have to jump.
almost positive though. Let's check. Monster Hunter Wilds crossplay. Partial.
Partial.
Okay, here you go. Uh, yeah, apparently there is going to be a. There's going to be a crossplay between PC and yes, yeah. Capcom has confirmed that crossplay on PC and PS5 and Xbox Series X will be available. So yes.
Okay. So, all right. So, changing topics a little bit. Have you seen all the noise regarding the Switch 2? All the mock-ups and images.
Yeah, the supposed leaks.
Yep.
It's been all over the place. I wouldn't really look too much into it because there is so much misinformation there that I really can't bother. I'd rather just wait for Nintendo to just bring us a Nintendo special presentation where, hey, guess what? We have a Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever. So,
And it's happening right now. Actually, as you're saying, I'm gonna double check because they're in Japan. I wouldn't be surprised if they're like announcing something right now. It seems that everybody thinks it's gonna be this week because there's so many
mm-hmm.
leaks that they feel like they have to come out with something at this point.
But that's the thing. There's so much information going all over the place and misinformation more likely that you know I can't be bothered. It's too much misinformation there. So
I hear you. All right, so now Switch 2, not a topic.
at the moment, no.
Did
Uh,
we talk about the PlayStation Portal not needing a PS5 anymore?
I think we talked it on chat, but not right here. So give it
So there
away.
you go. Well, that's pretty much it. Apparently, the PS Portal, which was supposed to be a streaming device from your PlayStation 5,
Mm-hmm.
now can, does not need a PlayStation 5. Although you will need a PlayStation Plus, the highest tier,
Mm-hmm.
in order to play in the cloud. So apparently, Sony has a better streaming service than Xbox, which I would have never thought possible.
Interesting. I don't think that's. I don't know. That sounds. I will have to. I'll have to see it to believe it. What I do know, however, is the one little note. The one little
Oh,
note I
yeah.
sent to you. The fact that GeForce Now is going to be available in Steam Deck, which
Steam Deck.
means that anything from the GeForce Now library, you'll be able to play it whether you have it on the GeForce library or the Steam library. And guess what? That's cloud based. And guess what? It's going to be 4K and all the nifty stuff. And guess what? It's supposedly very reliable latency wise because they're using a lot of the RTX. They're going to be using a lot of the RTX 5000 series technology to boost up all the games on the cloud. So pretty much you should be getting the closest to 4K full on everything on ultra gaming on your Steam Deck, which is quite amazing.
Well,
It's
I just need to see how it works. I still don't trust streaming at all.
I know,
Even
but
though it's like,
so
go
far,
for it.
yeah, so far, for what I've heard, I mean, I don't have a PS now. I'll have to try it maybe try it 1 month or something like that just to verify. But they say that it is very close to having the game on your console already. So maybe we're finally crossing that threshold. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
I'll
time.
have to try it again.
Yeah.
I tried it when they first bought, was it Gamma Sutra? I think the name of the company.
Yeah.
I forget. I tried it then when they first bought it and they implemented to PS4 and it was disastrous. I was like, nah.
Yeah, I've tried a couple of different services before, and it's been awful. Even the Xbox service is not that great.
Oh yeah, the Xbox one has to be. It's horrendous.
Yeah,
It
so
is really. I don't understand how they make such a big deal about Xbox being able to be played anywhere.
mm-hmm.
Where, when again, it's been like a year and a half since last time I tried it. But when I tried it, it was just, ugh.
Yeah,
Like and it
it
was a
was too
stupid
slow.
game. I think it was like Donut Hole. Like it was not an even a game that you.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the one, not a perfect game, but a game that should work on streaming, and they did not. It's like I am not doing this.
Yep. Oh, by the way, there's a new trailer for the next Street Fighter character,
Which is who?
which is there you go.
Hey everyone!
Oh
Get
my
ready
goodness.
to feast your eyes on the
All
strongest
right.
hentai fighter around. Yo,
And we're back to SNK, baby. Now, interestingly enough, we will have on the next Fatal Fury, we will have Chang Li and Ken from Street Fighter 6. So it's like a trade-off.
That's hilarious that they put Chun-Li against her.
Yeah, I mean, they had to.
They had, yeah, no, I agree. Jesus.
And she looks pretty fun. I mean, I'll still be probably playing with Terry, but she looks fun enough.
Yeah, no, she does. I like the movements.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Ninja fighting. Yeah, so far it looks pretty good. I don't know
Yeah.
about the balancing. Terry is kind of a jack of all trades, master of all. So I don't know how Maya's gonna be really, but she looks quite tricky, like you can see.
Yeah, she does.
And she has a lot
Oh
of
my
different
goodness.
things that you can use. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Jesus.
That seems like a little much for Street Fighter, to be honest.
Yeah, it does. And the old.
It almost feels like Marvel versus Capcom, to be honest. Not to that,
Not to that degree,
extreme,
but.
but-
hey,
but it's getting there.
you looking at?
Yeah.
I mean, it's moving towards that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That just came out today, so I
Alrighty.
was like, hey, let's see it. And Elena is going to be the final one for the season, which she comes from Street Fighter 3, and of course Street Fighter 4 later on. But yeah,
Okay.
so far so good. It's pretty good.
So what else is going on, sir?
Other than that, I think that might be it. Let's look at this Tim list real quick, but I think that might be it.
We had the Game Awards, but really, I don't think there's much to discuss at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot going on over there for the Game Awards. I mean, we could go ahead and get our top tens, but even then, it's been such a busy year with old and new stuff that it would be very hard to just bring out a list of games. But other than that, I mean, it's been a strange year for Game Awards because they let Elden Ring DLC get into the lists of most lists, which is kind of odd. I mean, it is a DLC, even though it's almost like a brand new game, but yeah, it's still using some assets from the original one. So I wouldn't consider that for a game of the year. I would consider it, however, for the DLC of the year, definitely.
Sure.
And
I don't know. I'm a little bit conflicted because I think I mentioned this either on the phone or on our last show. Spider-Man 2, a whole new game, but yet it's using the same assets from Spider-Man 1. It's the same map,
Mm-hmm.
actually. Just
Yeah.
a little bit more expanded, just a tiny bit. So I get it. It's a standalone game, but it's the same engine, the same assets. It
Yeah.
could have been DLC. Or an expansion at the very least.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I would really not count neither Spider-Man 2 or Elden Rings the DLC as actual new games per se. I mean, I know that there's always some stuff that you need to repeat or use or whatever from the first game to the second one for any game, but let's be honest, Spider-Man 2 was pretty much a rehash.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
A great rehash. I love that game when it came
Mm-hmm.
out. It's one of my favorite games, but still, it is, it's on Spider-Man's one back
Mm-hmm.
through and through.
Yeah, definitely. So
Well, the
yeah.
same thing with Destiny, though. I mean, all Destiny 2 is it's just Destiny 1.
Yes. Yes, Destiny 2 is pretty much Destiny 1 with a little bit of more here and there, but at the end they're pretty much the same game. So it's hard to it's hard to tell when there's a number two and you say, well, yes, it's the number two, but it is a different game against some games that you say it's totally the first game just with the little repaint and that's it, right? So it is what it is.
What will you say about the Forces? Will you say Forces are new games?
Usually not, because they usually revamp the whole graphic engine. Even though it's the same.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, they do revamp all the graphic engines. They're never the same. I mean,
Huh, okay.
one thing is to put some extra detail on your existing engine. Another thing is to bring a new engine just to do the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So usually on the Forza and the Gran Turismo's, we're talking about new engines every time.
And I knew about the Gran Turismo. I thought the Forces because they come a little bit more often, but I guess not. It's every 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
They do take their time,
okay.
and like Forza Motorsports, that was like a whole new thing, and even Horizon 4 against Horizon 5, brand new thing. So
Yeah.
they're never rehashing assets and stuff like that. They're remaking them to give it more detail, more this, more that, make a better engine, so on and so forth. So those not, but Spider-Man, that was blatantly a copy paste of whatever they had, and that they just put some extra stuff, right? So that's why I say I'm not too convinced that this could have been done as a DLC. But I think that that would be the gauge whether the second game on any other game could have been done as a DLC or is it a completely new thing, right?
I mean, I get it. It's a whole new story. It feels a lot beefier than a DLC. If anything, I would call it an expansion. I think DLC is selling it short for Spider-Man 2,
Mm-hmm.
but expansion maybe. Like, we're
Let's
using
call it
the same
expansion.
assets, but it's a new game.
Yeah, let's call it an expansion. But at the end, yeah. So that's about it.
So who
Um,
won it? It was Astrobot, right? My
for
favorite game that I haven't played yet.
yeah, the Game Awards, the Astrobot won. Um, Balatro has been nominated for Game of the Year in several different places, so that's an interesting one because it's one of the simplest games, and yet it's been winning the addiction of a lot of people. So there's that.
Kind of like Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, kind of like Vampire Survivors that is time. So yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah.
what are you looking forward? What games are you looking forward other than Monster Hunter?
Let's see. So we have Monster Hunter. We have Final Fantasy VII, um, Rebirth, and
No, I'm talking that haven't come out. Games that are coming out this year
that's what I mean.
that you
The
know of.
Rebirth on PC.
Oh, on PC. Okay, I got you.
Yes, on PC. What else? Let's see. I do have a list here of what's been getting into my account, sneaking into my account. I think I lost that. Ah, here it is. We're by lead added to library. There you go. Oh yeah, by the way, I have Slave Zero X and I haven't played it yet, so I'll probably just stream it because why not?
Which one?
Slave Zero X. Slave Zero X is like I think I showed it to you once. It's one of those like a Sega CD kind of games, or let's see, Slave Zero X. You can check it out. But I think I already showed this to you.
Come now, little devil.
It's pretty much like an action game.
Oh yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah, we could probably do a stream of this and you can check it out.
Yeah,
it looks
I remember
amazing.
you showing me this one. Look.
Oh, I know what I'm waiting for. Other than Final Fantasy and the Monster Hunter, I am waiting for Delta Force Black Hawk Down remake.
Oh yeah, that looked amazing.
Yes. So definitely that's the one I'm waiting for. What else? I should be playing a lot more of Remnant since the last expansion, well, the last DLC came out and I haven't touched it at all. So that's something I should be playing. Oh, I played a little bit of Path of Exile as well, by the way.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. You know what I'm looking for? I wanna see the lineup for the Switch too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is Nintendo gonna be releasing? I'm guessing there's gonna be a new Mario game somewhere in there, not a Zelda game. But there has to be a surprise. That'll be my guess. Either a Mario game or a Mario Kart. Not a Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what else can Nintendo come out with on the first year of their system? Since allegedly they delayed it by a year because they wanted more games on it. So I'm expecting like a sweet, trickle of games, like one every 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm expecting. So I want to see what that is.
Oh,
And I'm really curious about what the price is going to be for the Switch too.
Only time will tell. Until they don't release formal information, I'm not buying anything. I mean, I'm buying as
Well, I don't think you're buying a Switch 2,
no, but
period.
Buying as in taking into account any detail,
Yeah, and even my comments on Mario Kart have nothing to do with what people are saying. It's just that there hasn't been a new Mario since Mario Odyssey, which came out when the Switch came out.
Exactly. I mean, it's also a given, right? There's always been a Mario for a new system, so just a matter of waiting.
Not always.
Not always. When wasn't one the
not in the first year. There's always been a Mario game for a new system. You're right. Not always the first year.
Yeah, not for no,
and not always a
year.
3D. And not always a 3D Mario since Mario 64 came out. So, for instance, the Wii U didn't have a 3D Mario.
Mm-hmm. But the Wii U was a very strange console all, so I don't know.
I agree, but even the GameCube didn't have a Mario game until the second year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The Wii didn't have a Mario game. I don't know for how many years, but it wasn't until Galaxy came out, and it wasn't the first year either.
Mm-hmm. It did have two Mario games though.
Yeah, it did. It did have two 3D Mario games, Galaxy 1 and 2.
They made up for it.
Galaxy 2 is amazing. I mean, Galaxy 1 is also amazing, but 2, goodness gracious, that is amazing. So, anyways. And I want to see Metal Gear Solid 3. Delta.
Metal Gear Solid 3. Not convinced.
Yeah, I know.
But I have a beef with Kojima and the Metal Gear. Well, with Metal Gear specifically.
And 3 specifically, right? Even more?
No, all Metal Gears.
No,
except for Solid, of course. I mean, Solid is a great game, and it will always be a great game. The games after, I have my beef.
I have my beef with number 2. Number 3, I do love. I think that game is amazing. and I really enjoyed the last one, but although it's unfinished. You never
I'll,
played it, right? You never played 5?
no, five. No, I mean, I played two. I tried to play three, and that was the end of it. I was like, no more. That's it for me. That's where my beef with Metal Gear got to its max point.
That makes sense.
So
All right, sir. I think I'm out. I'm tapped. What is
yeah,
this?
I've tapped. This is some sort of a mecha game, and I'm always looking into mecha games. So I just saw it. I don't know what it is. Omega Phoenix. Commenced Project
I do
6.
like the name.
Omega Phoenix. Not bad.
I like Omega Phoenix, not Commence Project 6.
Yeah. It looks okay. I mean, it looks like a mecha game. Nothing out of the ordinary. But this seems to be like very new, and it does look a lot like Armored Core, so
Yeah.
maybe a little bit less so now. I mean, I'll try and make a game. I was saddened that MechWarrior 5 Clans, it's a pain to set up the controllers, like the simulation controllers. So I haven't really played it that much because I haven't been able to set them up properly. Sadness.
And by set them up, what do you mean?
Well, you see, all these controllers, they are a pain in the ass to set up and pretty much get them working as you want them to work, because you have your stick and you have your throttle and you have a whole shit ton of buttons. So you have to program and say, hey, I want this button to do this. I want this button to launch missiles. I want this trigger to fire weapons, and so on and so forth. So anything that has to do with those controllers, it's a pain in the neck to get them to work. For Star Citizen, I barely finally was able to get them up and running. Same for Flight Simulator, was a little bit hard, a little bit easier because it has like a search option for any kind of button press and whatever. But yeah, it is a pain in the neck. The driving ones, not so much. It's a lot easier to play driving with the wheel and stuff. But yeah, with the flight stick, it is complicated. So I haven't been able to set that up for MechWarrior 5, so it's a bummer.
That happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it kind of looked interesting, and then it just got boring, that game.
I mean, it feels okay. It's probably the best it's felt on a controller, to be honest. Against other MechWarriors that came for a controller, but it's not. It's not that great. I mean, it's okay. I'll keep playing it later on if I am able to, at some point, to finish setting up the controllers. But in the meantime, yeah. And yeah,
All right, so
that's about it.
I'm falling down.
I'm tapped out. So maybe
I'm tapped out too.
Yeah, so maybe we did have one visitor, which is a bot. So that's awesome. That's a renewed.
We got a bot. Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah. And of course, it's bringing in commercials. Cheap viewers on streamboo.com. And some code and whatever. So, hey, we got a bot. That's better than nothing. So, yeah.
All right, sir.
So, take us out of here, sir. And hopefully next week we can join in again and see what's new on the upcoming
Yes,
weeks.
let's do that. All right. Well, I'm Rich Almeida. Thank you so much for joining us. And after a very long hiatus, it is mostly my fault, although Mel was also traveling, but it's mostly my fault. We will try to do this more often, not more often, but weekly, I guess is what I want to say. Not lose so much time in between. And Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's to everybody.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, Chinese New Year
Yeah,
coming, all that
all the
stuff. We
stuff.
don't discriminate. Either we discriminate everybody, or we don't discriminate anybody. We go to both extremes, all right? But nothing in between. Anyway, I'm sorry. Anyways, keep on gaming. See you next week, Mel.
Yeah, same thing. Forever. Oh, by the way, on the week of the February the 10th, I'm going to be traveling. Go figure.
Where,
But
where, where?
I'm going to Denver, Colorado, for work.
Ooh.
So it's gonna be
Well, actually, Denver's nice, but it's gonna be really cold.
it's gonna be really cold. So I'm getting ready for it. It's gonna be cold as hell. But I'll try to do at least a phone a full
Okay.
transmission. So stay tuned. Let's see if we can make that happen. In the meantime, yes, as we said, everyone, thank you for coming in. Whoever gets to look at this brand new episode of Power Up Show, and as I always say, keep on gaming, and we'll be joining in soon. And stay tuned for some streaming on these new games. So, peace out.
All
Enjoy.
right. See you
Let's
later.
let's get out of here. And we're
Out.
off.